Yo. Study my dudes. You know how we start the show off. We got to give out a little salute, you know, with my brother's Cash and Ed Television. We're gonna set it off this week on Drunk Sports Talk. All right. I see my man rocking the Giants jersey. You know, I got my man Cash rocking some shit that y'all didn't even see yet. You know, and I'm just showing love to the 1996 Bulls. But this cheers goes to, of course, my brothers. But RIP to my refrigerator, man. That shit died when I came back from vacation. You know, I had to come home and that shit died the same night. Thank God it didn't die when I was away. I gotta say RIP to my fridge. So this episode, you guys are not gonna see me stand up and get a beer from my fridge. My beers are right here. But for the next one, you'll see the new and improved one in the background. Yo, salute.
Salute. I want to welcome everybody back to Drunk Sports Talk, New York's new #1 sports talk show out on these internet streets. You guys could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that. You already know who I am. If you don't, get to know me. It's Johnny Cash, and I got my guys with me, my ride or dies, my brothers. You already know who they are, but if you don't, it's my man at Television and my main man Q, man. What's up, fellas? How we feeling today?
What's good, my G? What's good?
Yo, feeling good, feeling great, feeling good. How are you?
Sorry I left you. We didn't get to do 2 shows last week. You know, everybody gotta decompress sometimes, you know what I mean? So me and Q was on vacation, laying up in Cape Cod. You know what I'm saying? Ed was back in the town holding down all the drunk sports talk business, man. We appreciate
holding down the fort.
You know, holding down
all day, baby, all day.
You know
word up.
No doubt.
But now we back.
Now we back giving you that content. Again, I want to thank everybody who subscribed, everybody who shows love, sharing the show. I do have a gripe with y'all real quick, though. We're getting a lot of views, but we're not getting the likes and the subscribers, man. So please, if you're going to come on my house, I need you to wipe your feet before you come in. Hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't cost you anything, and it helps support, and it helps grow the show. You know what I'm saying? So, yo, views is up. We up. Everybody's up. Saquon Barkley, some think he's up. Some might think he's not up. But speaking of Saquon, let's talk some town business, man. We've done a lot of we've talked a lot about Saquon on the show so far, right? In our short existence as a sports talk program, right? Saquon has been a hot topic because he was going through the whole, you know, the franchise tag. Will he sign? Will he not? Will he hold out? Will he go to camp? Will he play the first week? Right? We were back and forth. 1 week we thought he would. The next week we thought he wouldn't. I always had the feeling he'd work it out, but I wasn't 100% sure. They did come to some type of agreement, right? Not the franchise tag, something very similar, I might add. Saquon Barkley signs a 1-year deal, right? I believe worth $11 million, right? I think it's a $2 million signing bonus, and it's an incentive-based contract, right? I have my thoughts on it, but I want to go to Ed. Let me go to you first. What do you think about the Saquon deal? Is it just a franchise tag in disguise, or what do you think? What's your opinion on this?
Well, you know, I feel like Barkley gives himself a chance to beat the franchise tag, you know, for next year, since he signed his one-year deal. And, you know, under the franchise tag, with the plus the incentives, he would have made what? Under the franchise tag, he would have made what, 10 mil? But now he can make up he can make that 11 mil and make what, an extra 909,000. You know, he just has to hit a couple of incentives, and the Giants have to make the playoffs, you know, and he'll get his bread. But I feel like this is kind of a disguise because, you know, it's not the first time that if somebody gets a franchise tag and then the next season they get franchise tag again after signing a 1-year deal. So, you know, I don't know what the Giants are really trying to do, but, you know, if he has a ball out year, he could go anywhere he wants next year. You know, we don't want that, but he could go anywhere. The incentives, I kind of think he could crush the incentives that they gave him. So I'm just hoping he's locked and loaded and comes and whoops ass this year.
What I'm looking at the incentives kind of right now. I'm reading this. He'll get $300,000 if he reaches 1,300 rushing yards. Another $300,000. I'm just rounding off. It's 303, but another $300,000 for 11 touchdowns, and another $300,000 for 65 catches and I believe some more money. I don't have it in front of me if the Giants make the postseason.
Yeah, and it's plus a playoff berth for all three incentives. He has to make sure the Giants go to the playoffs.
I got a problem with that, but Q, let me go to you real quick. What's your take on the new Saquon deal?
We needed him, right? That's without doubt. You know, every Giant fan, anybody in sports that just watches football knew that the Giants needed Saquon Barkley.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we would have failed miserably, but it definitely would have been 100 times harder for us to win a lot of those games. But with him now, it's like a little bit of weight. It's a lot of weight lifted off of our shoulders. The deal seems like a lot. You know, you're putting a lot of pressure on this young man, but I've heard his interviews. We all know what he can do. That's basically almost like what he averages anyway in the season, except the Giants getting into the playoffs, mm-hmm. which is going to be harder. And being that the incentives include that, you know, that's a whole nother topic of discussion. But obviously, homie feels like that with him, they're going to go into the playoffs because he signed it. You know, he's going to get $13 million. But in my opinion, you know, and obviously it was a rumor because we don't know what happened in the room behind the closed doors with the trade or with the contract talks. But you know, if they did offer him $14 million, you know, with maybe 25 guaranteed or whatever, you know, I would wonder why he would have turned that down, because I don't know if this is because it's including a signing bonus. Now he's also giving the Giants another year. Hopefully they don't fuck him over, but I don't see them doing that. I think they're actually really testing him. I think they're actually really seeing, all right, is this dude going to stay healthy for 2 years, you know, in a row? Because he was only healthy for the first 2 years, got injured for a year and a half, came back a year. So I think if he comes back hard this year again, you know, I think he's been working on a lot of his lateral movements. We've seen what he's been doing, the way he's juking, the way he's even taking a lot of his hits. He's not, you know, he's still aggressive, but the way he's taken a lot of those lower hits from what I noticed last year was definitely much better than what it was in the previous years. He just didn't care. If you're tackling my ankle, fuck it's my ankle. But then, damn, now you out there the whole season, you know, or you're missing 6 games because you fucked your ankle up, you know. I really do like the signing, but you know, the topic of discussion is running backs getting fucked over, right? We all know this, and I feel like he's worth that. But I mean, I feel like he's worth a little bit more than that. But you know, then again, I'm not running that company, so I can't I can't say what they can give out. Word. But I just hope, homie, I hope he makes it. And you know, if he's listening or ever listens to this, I'm fucking, yo, bro. I'm rooting for you to make sure you slap all those incentives and goals out that box.
Amen.
You know, and show all these other running backs, yo, what you really worth and why you setting that bar that high. Because it's only really you. It's only him, but everybody else is damn near signed. We still got to see what Tony Pollard does and Josh Jacobs, you know. But you know.
I don't like the deal. I like it for the Giants. I think it's a brilliant deal for the Giants. All they did was disguise the franchise tag. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, they still could, you know, they still could franchise him next year. It doesn't really give him any security. For the Giants, for Joe Shane, brilliant deal.
Masterful.
For Saquon, masterful. For Saquon, not so much, man. And
yeah, because they got a tough schedule.
They have a tough schedule. And check this out. We talked about the whole running back situation in depth last episode, but I want to say this. For Saquon, listen, I understand it's a great business deal, right? But check this out. I'm not a businessman. I have no dog, you know, as far as in terms of business, I have no dog in this race, right? So I'm looking at it purely from a fan standpoint. I love Saquon. Saquon wants to be a Giant. He's a good kid. He says all the right things. He does all the right things. Doesn't get in any trouble off the court. And I've said this in the past. I'm going to reiterate it again. He has been the shining light in the dark room of the Giants the last, you know, 3 or 4 or 5, 6, whatever it was. It's been a while, you know what I mean? Even longer than that. He's been the only bright spot, man. We tune in on Sunday to see Saquon do his Barry Sanders 1-2, right?
Word up.
You know, I don't like that the incentives is attached to the playoffs. That means he's dependent on other people to get his money. If you wanted to give him an incentive-based deal, why not jack the price up a little bit, right?
Mhm.
Why not let him earn? If you want to let him earn some money, let him earn some money, not $900,000. That's in football terms, that's chump change. For us,
word.
something different. You know what I'm saying? But for him, it's chump change, man. I don't think they doing him right. I don't think they gives him any security. I understand why he signed it, man. At the end of the day, he wanted to save some face, right? He didn't really want to hold out because some money, like I've said in the past, is better than no money, right? Obviously, right? The dude got his family to feed, but I'm a little disappointed with the Giants. And all you guys are gonna go in the comments and say, "Oh, it's a business." I understand it's a business. I'm not a businessman. I'm a fan. You know what I'm saying? I'm a businessman in other aspects, but not a businessman within the world of the NFL. Saquon, I'm with you, brother. I'm riding with you, man. I hope they take care of Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs don't look like.
No, he ain't budging.
Yeah, he's not budging, man. I know they had that big running back meeting with Nick Chubb and all these other guys.
Yo,
and I understand. Yeah, I understand. They're trying to do something, but they're not gonna be able to do something till that CBA comes around. But I'm happy as a football fan and a Giants fan. I'm ecstatic, man, because the Giants.
we get to see him play.
Yeah, word up.
We
need him. The Giants need him,
and he is so vital in the progression of Daniel Jones, or the regression of Daniel Jones, right?
Yes.
You know what I mean? That opens up the whole pass game. You know what I mean? Him without Daniel Jones this year, I think it'd have been a disaster, right?
Yeah.
Daniel Jones, man. Daniel Jones got his bag. I feel bad for Saquon, man, because Saquon is part of the reason Daniel Jones got his bag. You know what I'm saying? Saquon,
well, to be honest, and another thing to that is, and what just like came to my mind just now, like we saw a lot of the improvements of the decision making and stuff like that, and the decision making was happening to be past Saquon when Saquon was open. More than half of the running backs ain't catching that, or even if they do, they're not getting, extra yardage. They're not actually going above scrimmage, turning it into a play.
Yards after catch, no doubt.
And that's not Daniel Jones getting better. That's him depending on the star of the team.
It opens
but
the
he
game
did
up.
he got better in other aspects. But let's call a spade a spade. Like if a quarterback's in trouble and he's looking to his running back, then he's gonna have a good one. He's gonna dump it off. But he could have had somebody who definitely gonna drop. Imagine Evan Ingram 2 years ago as a running back. He would have dropped. He would have caught like 3 passes as a running back.
Yeah, And they picked up this guy James Robinson, as a safety blanket. But James Robinson, he all right, but he ain't no Saquon.
When I saw that pick originally. Right when I saw that signing, I was like, remember Q, we were talking about, it was like, so they're gonna do it by committee and they're gonna try to take little pieces of different, because James Robinson, he ain't no scrub, but one, he got hurt a lot, hasn't played a lot, and honestly, he's no Saquon Barkley, man. You know what I mean? So he's not dynamic like that. Let's just be honest. You know what I'm saying? But he's one of us now. I rock with him. They also picked up Cole Beasley. Not really sure. Nice vet. Not really sure what that's about. Our wide receiver room is stacked.
Probably to teach them the system.
I guess he's a Dable. He's a Dable guy, but
teach them the system. That's how I viewed it, because he's a perfect slot receiver. He's like a poor man's Wes Welker.
Hasn't done really nothing in the last 2 years, man. Injured with Tampa Bay. I mean, I get it.
He didn't do nothing with the Bucks either.
I get it, but it's a move, like marginal move in my opinion. But as far as Robinson, like I said, I felt at the time they were trying to replace Saquon, man, with Breida, and they got the kid Eric Gray, but he's back on the team.
Amen.
I'm excited about that.
Do you guys think that the Giants signed Robinson because just to pour some more fuel on the fire and the competitiveness of Saquon Barkley, and maybe be like, hey, if we do this, spend $1 million here, then maybe we can get him again and have him sign for just basically the same contract that we were trying to offer him before. Well, for the franchise tag game, because that's what it is. It's just a franchise tag, which is a signing bonus and
incentives.
Incentives, yeah.
It's a little bit better than a signing bonus, but that's he basically signed on for next year's franchise tag. Because next year that's what the franchise tag is probably going to be. It's going to be somewhere in the $12 to $13 million range.
Word. And his contract, him signing this contract, he's still like the 8th highest paid running back. Out of 182 running backs in the league right now, he's the 8th. So he's top 10.
Yo, ET, you have the list on you?
The list of the 8 running backs or the
Yeah.
top? Nah, to be honest, I just got his.
Let me look real quick. Yeah, because that's important. I want to hold on. Let me run down this line.
I was surprised with that. When I read that, I'm like, oh, he got that dirt. To me, it's a dirt ass contract. I feel like he's worth more money. But I'm like, he still got the 8th highest. I'm like, that's not pretty bad, I mean, shit.
You said he's 8th?
Yeah, 8th out of 182 running backs in the league. That's the information that I got.
I'm gonna try to pull up.
So I think Nick, who's ahead of him? I think it's Nick Chubb. I know it's Christian McCaffrey.
Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry's above him.
The one from
Kamara.
Yes, him. I was about to say him.
Yeah,
from
Derrick Henry, Nick Chubb,
who didn't do shit last year.
He's ahead of. Actually, no, he's ahead of Nick. Well, if you count the.
All right, I got it right
the
here.
Incentives and the signing bonus. He's ahead of Nick Chubb.
I got it right here.
Let me see what he got.
So I got McCaffrey number 1, Kamara at 2, Henry 3, Chubb 4, Aaron Jones, then Saquon, then Pollard, Josh Jacobs, James Conner, and Miles Sanders, and then Austin Eckler.
Yeah, how is Tony Pollard above him if Tony Pollard signed a franchise tag as well?
Aaron
Jones is in front of him.
Under him, yeah.
Oh.
What does Aaron Jones make per?
Aaron Jones is making his total value is 23 mil per year. He's making 11 right now. 11.5.
Essentially, Saquon is just leaped them though. Because if you include the signing bonus,
he leaped them. Yeah.
But on paper, it's So they wanted to pacify him a little bit. I think he should be. I think he's the best back in the league. I know everyone was going to say McCaffrey and Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's the super power back. I think Saquon is the most versatile. I think he's the best back in the league. I think he should be paid as such. But,
Saquon, I'm sorry. Saquon, the type of back you could put him in any good situation, and he'll get your team to a championship. Yes, very versatile. It's like Q said, you could dump it off to him, you can hand it off to him. He's going to be there. He'll block if he needs
screen.
To block.
You can line up in a formation.
You know what I mean? Fuck around, he could do a flea flicker play for you. You know what I mean? He's just that type of dude, and he'll be blessed to be. Any team will be blessed to have him. And if he goes to a good situation, they'll win. You know what I mean? Not that the Giants can't win with him, because they you can see they win with him. He's 40% of the offense last year, but he's the type of back that you put him in any situation. You put him in San Fran, you put him any team, the Buffaloes, they're gonna fucking win. They're gonna fucking win with him.
He's a Swiss Army. He's a Swiss Army now.
Exactly.
He does a lot of shit. Daniel Jones. Go buy him a Rolex. Go buy him something with that big bag you got, man. Take care of him, hook him up. But with that being said, let's take a shot for my guy Saquon. Saquon, we advocates of Saquon.
We riding with you.
We
riding with you, Saquon, man. We were rooting for you. Like, if you would have sat out, I would have understood. I would have not hated you. Matter of fact, if you would have sat out, I would have bought his jersey. Like, I don't have one yet, but I'm waiting. I'm waiting for I don't know. I want him to retire. I don't know. I'm just have this weird thing about buying jerseys there.
Yeah,
he's got to retire. And I think if he retires a Giant, I think they're eventually gonna take care of him. I think they're gonna make him sweat a little bit. But I think that if he retire, I think New York is the best place for him. You see Michael Strahan flourishing in his retirement. Michael Strahan's getting all the bags. Tiki Barber. Eli Manning has a dope podcast. There's Carl Banks is a media correspondent. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. So I think I do think that's a plus if you retire a Giant, you could possibly flourish in another field after that. But shout for Saquon right quick. My
shout
bad.
Shout to Saquon.
Let's go.
Salud. I would like to say this though. I still got a bone to pick for years with Tiki Barber, because when he left the Giants, when he retired a Giant, y'all don't remember this. He was talking so much smack saying that we couldn't beat Tampa Bay, Green Bay.
But I'm gonna give him a pass because his brother's on Tampa. You know what I mean? You gotta give him a pass, brother.
I'm sorry, I'm like that. I can't give you a pass. Once you talk that poo-poo caca about my New York team, I can't. I lose all love for you. Like,
I fuck with Tiki. Tiki's a good dude. I've seen him before in person. He's a real good dude. Man.
He's a real good dude. I understand.
And
I'm not taking that, but once he was talking so much trash about the Giants the year after he retired, guess what? We won without you, baby.
And he was on the sideline with Tampa that year when we. I get it.
He was rooting for his brother. We took care of Tampa.
And he got exiled damn near for a while, man. With the New York media and the New York fans, but
because he was talking so much against us the year after he retired, man.
But he's ingratiated himself back in there. He's on New York radio. I hear that shit. I hear what you're saying, but I fuck with Tiki, man. Tiki, he retired a Giant. He put in his work. He did his thing.
Yeah. Much respect to Tiki. I won't take none of his.
I'm not mad at you for hating on him. I'm just saying,
with the Giants, but that just kind of rubbed me off the wrong way. I'm like, dude, like, why are you gonna?
What's crazy,
bro?
What's crazy with Tiki? If he would have still with the Giants and they happened to win, which I don't think he would have. Then he probably would have gotten to the Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame.
I think Tiki's still gonna go in the Hall of Fame at some point. You look at his numbers. He's got great numbers.
I totally agree. Come on, like I think I was having a discussion with somebody. Terrell Davis, overall rushing. Overall rushing. I think was like 8,000 yards. His career rushing yards was like 8,000 yards.
TD, I'd have to pull it up. Yeah. TD was a beast though.
But I'm gonna throw some shade in there. During that time when he was the back in New York, it was the other back in New York. My man Curtis Martin, that was dirty. Curtis Martin with the GOD.
Curtis Martin is a Patriot.
Yeah, no, he was a Patriot but remember he was a Jet during the same time. After, he came for the Patriots.
He's a Patriot.
Yeah. To me, always gonna be a Patriot. Oh, right.
Curtis Martin was a dog though. He's got a lot of years in there. I definitely Curtis Martin was no joke. But
I just paid attention to him more with the Jets. I really didn't like him on the Patriots, but once he became a Jet, I was like, whoa, wait, hold up.
Yo, listen. That's a perfect. You just threw the softball right down the middle. Let me hit it out the park. Perfect segue. Let's talk about the Jets. You know what I'm saying? Town business. Let's talk about the Jets, man. We haven't listened. All you Jets haters and all you Jets fans, I know y'all wondering, like, yo, they talk about the Giants, they talk about the Knicks, they talk a little Mets, they talk a little Yanks, they talk around the league. When y'all gonna talk about the Jets? Here we are. We getting ready to talk about the Jets, man. They just got to camp. Hard knocks. We collectively didn't really want to talk too much Jets because the Jets are all over every national program. All you hear is Aaron Rodgers, Super Bowl or bust. It's crazy. Too much Jets talk, but the season's getting ready to start, so we got to talk a little bit of Jets. Q, I'm gonna go to you first. Your thoughts on the Jets, Aaron Rodgers, the defense coming back intact, the offensive line, the whole bit. What's your thoughts on the Jets this year? Do you think how good do you think the Jets are going to be this year?
In my opinion, I really think the Jets are going to make the playoffs, and I think they have the potential of being number one in that AFC. I think they can be better than the Bills. I think at this point that's their only other competition, unless Tua magically comes back and becomes some insane quarterback and whatever, because that's a scary team. Patriots are always going to be a decent team, but right now it's not looking. They're just rebuilding again and just staying in. They're just staying in the mix.
Nah, and, overrated coach. We'll get into that another time, but I agree. Patriots.
Yeah. So, but I think the Jets really have that. Look, how long have the Jets had this problem with no quarterback? They've always had a great defense. Always had a great defense. We took a couple of their defensive players.
Yes,
and it actually made us better after they played their best years with the Jets. That's crazy. And then the only thing I just find a little bit odd, man. Aaron Rodgers he's gonna excel. We already know what he can do, and now he has another Jordy Nelson now. He has another Jordy Nelson. He has a Randall Cobb in his prime. Even though Randall Cobb's on the team, he is old. He just did that because he just has, now he's like a Tom Brady dude. He just want to get.
He's an emotional security blanket for him. That's how I look at it.
And Cobb can show the young guys how the offense as well.
Yeah, Randall Cobb's a dinosaur.
And with saying that, he has a Garrett Wilson.
Yes.
Wilson, it's gonna be. I really have a lot of high hopes for this kid. I usually watch, a handful of games of the Jets, regardless, every year, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, cause I don't care what y'all say. I'm a diehard Giant fan, but I fuck with the Jets, yo. Anything New York, I fuck with. This is town business. That's my town.
Let's go.
Right? I don't have that hatred. Like, if I saw a Jets fan getting stomped out, man, I'm gonna stomp that dude, stomping him out.
Word out.
Unless it was a Giant fan. No, I'm just playing.
Yeah, no doubt. I feel you.
But Aaron Rodgers, he's gonna have a lot of people to throw with. I don't like the move with Alan Lazard. I feel like he didn't really do enough with
Green Bay.
With Green Bay already. He already had him there. That's another comfortability. I'm not fond of that type of movement. But you know what? They had to please the new guy. They had to please him. I feel like Hardman, I think he might show out more this year. I think he's gonna be able, because I think he's gonna be able to show it. Only the reason because I feel like when Aaron Rodgers is in that pocket, and we obviously know his movement isn't as crazy, but now Patrick Mahomes had a million other dudes to throw it to. Nicole Hardman can run a really great route, and he catches that, he's gonna burn your ass. So I'm just really excited to see what this team can do, because I really feel like they can get to where they need to be.
I like it. Not to cut you off, I like your take on McCall Hardman. I think he's gonna be up this year. You mentioned him with Patrick Mahomes. I think McCall Hardman is going to be great for A-Rod, because I think he's a red zone guy. I think he stretches the defense horizontally in Hackett's West Coast offense, right? I think he not vertically. I think when you're in the red zone, everything is tight. But I think he stretches it horizontally, which is very important when you're in that tight space. Like I just said. I'm looking at his numbers real quick: 6 touchdowns in 8 games. Was banged up a little bit, but his last 3 games had 5 TDs. So you could tell he was getting on, starting the ball a little bit. He also might play some special teams as well. Not to cut you off, Q, my bad, but I had to chime in because I do like I'm big on McCall Hardman.
No, yeah, of course, because I felt like with him and Tyreek Hill, that was what a Jaylen Waddle and a Tyreek Hill could have been. In my opinion,
right.
They're both burners, but I really feel like McCall Hardman's gonna have a good year. And then they have a good running game. They got Breece Hall. It's gonna be stacked. It's gonna be fun. I like watching when New York teams spend money and they just create a great team around them, and they already succeeded. They did well last year. They just didn't have a quarterback. They went through 3 quarterbacks, and none of them really show improved. Now Aaron Rodgers gonna go in there and fuck shit up.
No, I agree, man. We're having a little technical difficulties with Ed. He'll be back in a second, but I'll give you my take before he gets back. I think the Jets, like you said, I think the Jets are going to win that division. Buffalo are no slouches. Miami, I'm a little bit higher on them than you. Not so much the Patriots. I like that 4-3 that the Jets won. Everyone talks about their defense last year. Some people think it was a little bit overrated. I don't think so. I think that defense was really good last year. Salah likes to run that 4-3. They got Carl Lawson back. A lot of people wasn't sure if he wanted to take the pay cut. They drafted this kid, Will McDonald, out of Iowa. He's going to be rushing off the edge. Quentin Williams got his bag, huge bag. So there's continuity in his defensive depth on the line. Obviously, the secondary was just locked down. The corners, tremendous, right? I think the corners were so good last year that I think that the Jets had issues defending the tight end, right? I'm just going to read off some stats real quick. And this is crazy because, like you said, I didn't watch a whole lot of Jets games, but when I did watch them, I did notice his gaping hole. The Jets allowed 61.1 yards per game to tight ends. That was 6th worst in NFL. They also ranked 5th worst with 5.5 receptions per game allowed to tight ends. and New York faced the third most targets per game to tight ends with 7.8. That tells me that the secondary was so dominant that opposing teams tried to expose those safeties and linebackers. So I do think that's something that Sala and them have to address. They did cut safety LaMarcus Joyner, and they added Chuck Clark from Baltimore. I do believe that's an upgrade. Listen, Sauce and your boy DJ Reed, locked down, brother. Locked down. They were doing their thing, man. I think so yeah, listen, I think the Jets defense, is solid. I'm not worried about it. They were good against the run last year. Like I said, dominant against the pass. So I think, you know what? I was thinking the other day too. Sauce and DJ Reed, man. They kind of remind me a little bit of Camardi and Revis. They're not. I don't think they're as good.
Yeah,
but,
I was good.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Say that, yeah. They're not as good, but they're not far below.
Yeah, yo,
Not
like I
far
said,
below.
I move on to A-Rod real quick. A-Rod, supposedly had a bad year last year. I think there was a lot of reasons why A-Rod had a bad last year, man. I think he was hurt. I think he was unmotivated. I don't think he'll be unmotivated. I still think he has a chip. He's coming back with a chip on his shoulder. We all know how A-Rod plays when he has a chip on his shoulder. I think Nathaniel Hackett and then coming to the Jets is going to be great. Obviously, we know Aaron Rodgers last time seen with Nathaniel Hackett was tremendous. I think Nathaniel Hackett got a raw deal in Denver as the head coach, but I think he's a phenomenal OC. I like the style of offense he plays. Him and Aaron Rodgers, the coordinator, I think they're going to do great. Garrett Wilson is amazing, like you mentioned before, Q. Randall Cobb. He has Lazar. I think Randall Cobb and Lazar is a good receiver. Not an incredible receiver, but he's a solid receiver. Garrett Wilson obviously is a baller. I would have loved to have seen Garrett Wilson and Elijah Moore together, man. It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy, man.
I was looking forward to.
But, absolutely, man.
I think it's gonna be good. So
think about Garrett Wilson for a second. Offensive Rookie of the Year, 1,100 yards and 4 touchdowns with Zach Wilson throwing him the ball. Imagine what him and Aaron's going to do.
It wasn't even only just Zach Wilson. It was Zach Wilson.
Mike White.
Mike White and Mike White and it was Q and I think Ed threw a couple of passes to him too. And
another thing I want to say about the defense is, because I'm very high in the defense, I think that the defense will be even better because I just thought of this right now because Zach Wilson, so many 3-and-outs last year, right? The defense is laboring. They're constantly on the field with Aaron Rodgers on the field, converting those third downs, stretching out those drives, giving the defense a chance to rest. I think they're going to be even more crazy. You know what I'm saying?
I definitely agree because think about the Packers, man. The Packers didn't have a great defense last year. They didn't. Like I felt like watching Aaron Rodgers play on the Packers last year, he was always playing from behind. And then playing from behind, what are you going to do? There's only so many screen passes, and then eventually you can't keep dumping it off to Aaron Jones.
I agree.
And then who are you going to throw it to? You can't throw it to Devontae Adams no more because he's not there.
I agree.
And who else did they have? That Alan Lazard. I'm not saying they're nobodies, but they weren't enough to get him where he needed to be in the Packers, and a lot of that had to do with the Packers, the way they did all their signings and the way they did their contract negotiations.
Right.
Like they overpaid for Aaron Jones. Let's keep it a buck. Aaron Rodgers just asked for a lot of money, and and Devontae Adams just wanted a dip. It would have been a totally different team with just one wide receiver, as crazy as it sounds. Because even if they play from behind, a playmaker's a playmaker. They're going to go out there and make plays. We can't really name anybody out there to make plays.
No,
on that offense.
Listen, I totally agree with that. Excuse me. I think, what do you think about a lot of people saying it's Super Bowl or bust with the Jets? I'm back and forth on it. I tend to agree, and I tend to be a little wishy-washy on it. I think it's Super Bowl or bust only from the standpoint that Aaron Rodgers brings pressure. I mean, Aaron Rodgers has showed up kind of small in a lot of these playoff games. We all know that he only has one ring. It's from a while ago. I think what year? What year did he win the ring? Was it like?
Was that 2004? I believe. It was
I
a
think it
few
was like.
years.
It was after the Giants.
It was after the Giants, right?
Yeah, it was ages ago. In football terms. So I think that's kind of grandfathered in the pressure that the Jets are going to inherit from Aaron Rodgers. But I think, in my opinion, if they if they go deep into the playoffs, I think it would be a successful season. That's in my opinion. What do you think? What do you think about that? Is a Super Bowl a bust with the Jets?
Nah, I totally disagree with that. I think last year it was just like find a quarterback or bust.
Yeah.
It was like that movie. What was it called? Mark Wahlberg or whatever, when he became like a Philadelphia Eagle and they had tryouts and like that. That's what the Jets is doing with quarterbacks. If they don't make it to the Super Bowl, that's perfectly fine. Yeah. What will be a failure though is they don't compete. If you start seeing them always playing from behind, that means the defense not doing what they need to do, which shouldn't. And if Aaron Rodgers is not scoring no touchdowns, this is what we need to see from the Jets. We need to see them average at least 24, 27 points a game.
I agree. I agree 100%.
And that's what we need to see them do that, because you got to remember they're going to play the Bills twice, the Patriots they're going to beat twice. The Miami Dolphins, it can just go either way because that's an explosive offense. But I don't think it needs to be them going to the Super Bowl. I do see that Aaron Rodgers has 2 more years. After this year, he has 2 more years. Homie can still ball. He just was so unmotivated. Yo, let's be honest, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
Like, what the hell is in Wisconsin, bro? Like, I don't even know why he stood there that long. Like, there's really nothing to do in Wisconsin, man. Like there's no town life. See, like, he might not be about that, but you know what? Maybe coming over here and seeing these bright lights and all this, pressure and all this stuff.
He's outside. He's at the Knicks game. He's at concerts. He's embracing New York.
Man, 100%. He might. I think that might just help him. I think that's going to make him 100%. Play better. And I really think that that's why I'm putting I'm putting my thought into thinking that that's how far they're going to go. But if they don't get there, if they win at least 10, 11 games, I think they're going to be perfectly fine. I think 10, 11 games is good, man, because it's a hard division, man. It's a hard division with a scary Miami Dolphin team and a Bills team that can win the Super Bowl any given year for probably the next couple of years, the next 3 years at least, I should say.
Yo, and I think we got Ed back. I think that
my fault. I had technical difficulties.
I think that Aaron Rodgers and Nathaniel Hackett, I think that's comfortable for him. I definitely like that. But Ed, real quick, man, give me your thoughts on the Jets this year, man. What's your take on the Jets? How far you think they'll get, and
is the moves they made? Super Bowl or bust? You think?
Well, I think it's Super Bowl or bust. For me, as a fan, I'm a big fan of the Jets. I love the Giants. I got my man Eli all day, Elisha Manning all day. But I feel like this year is Super Bowl or bust for the Jets. And I feel like, with the team that they got, everything they did, all the moves, Nathaniel Hackett back with Aaron Rodgers, Lazard, Cobb, you know what I mean? Y'all talked about Nicole Hardman. They got the pieces. Defense, they got an A1 defense, you know what I mean? Sauce Gardner was a defensive rookie of the year last year. Then you add Garrett Wilson, a new weapon for A-Rod. He was the offensive rookie. You know what I mean? I feel like the time is now for the Jets. It's been so many years since the Jets won the Super Bowl. They won Super Bowl 3. What was it? 68, 69? Time is now. The crazy thing is that even today, while we were setting up for the show, Rodgers took a pay cut, so you could tell he riding with the Jets right now. He flying with the Jets right now. So I'm hoping they make it to the Super Bowl. It's gonna be a long, hard road because you got the Chiefs, you got the Bills, you got the Bengals. You know what I mean? There's so many other teams like Baltimore that are on the come up, Dolphins, et cetera, et cetera. Chargers, Jaguars. But I feel like the Jets got this. I feel like me just being optimistic. I feel like the Jets got this. They got enough. for Christ's sakes, they almost went to the Super Bowl 2 years in a row with Mark Sanchez at their quarterback. So why can't Aaron Rodgers turn around and take his team all the way, to the glory and get that Lombardi?
No, I agree, man. Like you mentioned the schedule, man. The Jets have a crazy
hard. They got one of the hardest schedules,
man. I think that was done on purpose. I was thinking about it. Did they do that to because Aaron Rodgers came over there? I mean, obviously they did it because of that, but did they do it to screw the Jets, so to speak, for lack of a better term? Or I believe they did it because ratings, man. You know what I mean? They're gonna get TV time. The Jets are gonna have mad national exposure this year, man. So it's very important that I'm trying to pull up their schedule, man. You have it in front of you at all? No,
yeah,
right?
I got you right now. So the first what? Do you want me to talk about the whole schedule or just
go to their first? I think it's the first 6 or 7 games are crazy. Go to the first.
So they got Bills. They got Bills week 1. They got the Cowboys. They got the Patriots. They got the Chiefs. They got the Broncos. They got the Eagles. They got the Giants.
Yo,
Chargers.
hold on, stop right there, yo. Say that one more time. Say that one more time.
All right. So their first test is the Bills. That's the legacy game. Boom.
Yeah.
They got that week 1 at MetLife. Then they go to Dallas, play Dallas. Then Patriots come to us. Then we go out to Kansas City and play the Chiefs. Then we go out to Denver, play the Broncos. Then we come back home. Eagles coming to town. And then we got the Chargers coming into town. Then we play the Raiders, the Bills, the Dolphins. Bro. You know what I mean? The easiest teams that I feel like they could beat right now in the schedule towards the end of the year, it's Falcons, the Texans, and the Commanders and the Browns. And not even the Browns because they're going to be on the up and up.
And Falcons, I think Falcons might be all right, man.
Shit.
Yeah, they got to. I tell you what, the Jets, in my opinion, have to win that division, man.
They got to.
They got to win that division.
It's do or die. It's do or die to win the division if they really want to, get over that hump and win that goddamn Super Bowl. That's eluded them for so long.
Yeah, but they should definitely beat the Patriots twice. They should definitely beat the Patriots twice. They should definitely beat the Raiders. That puts us at what, 3? Let's say even if the Texans, the Commanders, and they split. Let's say they split the Bills and the Dolphins. Just thinking thinking on a negative note. That puts them already at 9 wins.
Yeah.
9 wins. Let's see how their true testament games is gonna be against the Chiefs. That's an away game against the Chiefs. And the Broncos. The only reason I say the Broncos because I think that's a bad team. I just feel like a lot of people just have a hard time. I think with that freaking, the altitude levels and all that shit going on, man. I feel like that's just like a demonic state to play in. They just put you in bad predicaments. Just run all day, but hey, you don't need an oxygen mask and shit.
Instead of demonic state.
Real quick, not to cut you off. A lot of boxers. Jamal Crawford was up there training, man, running in those mountains. So yeah, if you can get you're well conditioned if you can get busy up in Denver. Anyway,
it's that thin air out there, man. Every pure athlete has always had a problem out there in Denver, whether it's basketball, baseball, football, whatever. They always have issues with that thin air out there in Colorado.
Yeah, I think in my opinion, if the Jets don't win, at least, like I said, man, they don't win at least I think I said 10, 11 games, but it could potentially be 12. But
They got the offensive weapons. I mean, look at their wide receiving core. This is the best wide receiving core I've seen them had since the time we went to the AFC Championships. I mean, you got Wilson, you got Corey Davis, Hardman, Lazard, and Cobb. You know what I mean? Then you got the 2 tight ends, Uzoma. That's how you say his name, right?
Yeah, Uzoma. Yeah.
Uzoma, and then you got Conklin. I mean,
shout out to Jeremy Ruckert. I think he's gonna do his thing this year too.
There you go.
He's from Long Island. He's from New York.
There you go. There you go.
I got people who know him.
Yeah, like you was telling us last time. Hell yeah! Shout out to him, man. And then running back by committee, Breece Hall. If he come back, he gonna come back strong.
Michael Carter.
You got Michael Carter. You got Zonovan Knight, and then the rumors are still out there. They're still trying to reel in this kid, Dalvin Cook. So that's a 2-headed monster with him and.
I don't think they got the Dalvin Cook money though. We'll see though.
You never know.
I'm pretty sure Dalvin Cook is asking between he's probably asking somewhere in the price range of $16 to $20 million a year.
We'll see. But like I was saying before, I had my technical difficulties. Aaron Rodgers took a pay cut, right? He took a $35 million pay cut. So maybe that could help bring Dalvin, over here.
He took a pay cut. What is he making?
Today he took a pay. Before I had the typical difficulties, as I was saying, he took a $35 million pay cut.
You said today?
Yeah, today, bro. I got the alert. He took a $35 million pay cut.
So they restructured his contract today?
Yes, sir.
Oh, look at him.
Mm-hmm. Yo, he was supposed to make $75 million and took a $35 million pay cut, bro.
Really? I didn't even know that.
He dedicated to win here in New York City with the Jets.
He's trying to be, and I didn't know that, but just everything else I saw him doing gave me a Tom Brady vibe.
Yeah,
he's bringing his homies in. He's trying to win. I can see the Jets winning the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. Look, we all saw Tom Brady dip and leave, and look what team they put around him. It was insane, and he won one.
He already went to a team that just needed a quarterback. Because that team just needed a quarterback. I felt like they always had. The Bucs had a great D. They had a good wide receiving core. They added Fournette when Tom Brady came in and stuff like that. Fournette. Even when Stafford went to the Rams just needed a quarterback. You know what I mean? More people came on the defensive side, offensive side, and look what they did. Why can't Aaron Rodgers and the Jets do the same thing? Why? Because it's the Jets? I don't think so. I think the time is now, and they're going to do it.
Yeah, I do. I just don't feel like if they lose and don't go to the Super Bowl, I won't be depressed. But if they do get far, I'm optimistic, and I think like you, I think they're gonna get first. I think they're gonna win the division, and I think if they do that and see what happens, in the playoffs, because they're gonna have to play. You have to play people that you got to understand too. A lot of his teammates never been in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, true that.
He's gonna start playing players. He's gonna start facing teams that have multiple players, a large amount of players who are used to being in conference divisional finals or even Super Bowls when it comes to that. We know he is. We know how he's gonna perform, because if he gets to the Super Bowl, we know he's gonna perform. We just need. What he needs to do now is be that leader and make sure that Breece Hall and his running backs, Garrett Wilson, McCall Hardman, McCall Hardman has already won one, so he has that. So he has that there, and I'm pretty, Alan, he needs to make sure all these guys there, all these top defenders, all these guys getting paper, they all need to make sure that they perform from game 1 all the way to game 22 or something like that. I think 21 if they win the Super Bowl in February.
Yes, I agree 100%. And the thing, I don't know if y'all touched on this subject. I obviously y'all mentioned Nathaniel Hackett. I don't know, a lot of people remember. Nathaniel Hackett was the old offensive coordinator for Green Bay the last time Aaron Rodgers won MVP. I think it was in 2001. Right. So that's a plus right there. That's a plus. So if you reunite with a guy who got you the MVP, why can't you go all the way to the Super Bowl and win it all? Everybody talking about, oh, he 39, he turning 40. So what? Tom Brady won the Super Bowl. His last Super Bowl, how old was he? Like 41, 42? Come on, man. Age is nothing but a number sometimes.
My bad. I was just looking up the shit. You good looking out. You gave me some game. I didn't even know he took a pay cut. I'm just off vacation, so I'm a little behind. But
it literally happened. It literally happened like a whole hour before we got on.
Yeah. That's what's up, though, man. That's dope. That's in the footsteps. That's Tom Brady-esque.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying, so to speak.
That's how you
matter
do
fact,
it.
yo. Let's take a shot for Aaron Rodgers taking a motherfucker.
I'm gonna take a swig of the Hennessy. I'm gonna skip the shot and take a swig because the technical difficulties got me so mad. Y'all should have. I cursed everybody out in Spanish. Not but I cursed out everybody.
It's all good. It's all good.
Apple on cable. Y'all can suck my.
It happens.
You know what? Yeah, you already know Apple on cable.
Yeah, sponsor us. Make sure it works.
Salud, Aaron Rodgers.
Salud, A-Rod.
Oh man, damn. Son.
But that's all good. It's I don't even think they would even notice anything. We know.
Did I move? Did I get up the screen, or was I just there?
You just froze for a minute, but
you froze or you dipped. Yeah.
Right. That's part of show business.
This is drug sports talk. Sometimes cable companies like Optum and Verizon, they be drinking too. They drink, they get a little fucked up. When you get fucked up, you make little mistakes. That dude was trying to just imagine being a fucked up phone call operator back in the 1920s and shit.
Mhm.
Everybody, yo, I'm gonna have Malcolm
Plugs.
calling Vanessa by mistake,
Mhm.
bro.
Word. You trying to make a call to California, you get connected to Frankfurt,
Facts.
Germany and shit. Like, oh shit.
Yo,
But we talking about pay cuts and bags and money and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk. Since we on the money subject, let's talk money, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, a lot of money.
bill,
A lot
y'all.
of dudes been getting out. Dudes is out here getting paid, man. $1 million worth of game, man. That should be Jaylen Brown's podcast, man. Shout out to Gilly too.
Oh man, shout out to Gilly. I heard
And
he
his
lost
kid,
his
no
son,
doubt.
man.
Yeah,
That
shout out to
sucks,
Gilly.
bro.
R.I.P. man.
R.I.P. to Young Cheese, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's tough, man.
Shout out to Gilly and Rollo, no doubt.
Word.
But talking about bags, man. Jaylen Brown, man. Ooh, Jaylen Brown broke the bag. We knew he was gonna get a supermax deal, right?
But that's a super max deal.
Everyone who watches this show or hangs out with me knows I was an advocate for Jaylen Brown to be on the Knicks. I thought they were gonna split him and Tatum up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what direction the Celtics are going into. I don't want to talk too much about the Celtics, but I want to talk specifically about Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown, $300 million plus, right?
Mm-hmm. $304 million super max
304,
contract.
over $300 million.
For the
What
next
is it? A 5-year deal?
5-year deal.
Absorbing an amount of money.
Shit.
fully guaranteed.
Fully
Yeah.
guaranteed,
Fully
right? I know
guaranteed.
football players are like, fuck this shit.
Mhm.
Nah, but Ed, what do you think? What's your thoughts on this, man? What's your thoughts on this? I'm gonna leave it up to you, man.
I mean,
Too much money. My brain is fogged up.
yeah, it's crazy because all right, I like Jaylen Brown. I would have loved for him to be on the Knicks. He had a superb season this year. You know, him and
Ain't gonna happen now.
him and Jason Tatum are like a perfect tandem together. But this dude is going from a
Are they?
Well,
Nah, get him.
Yo, this dude is making a $20 million upgrade in his payroll.
Yeah.
My man is gonna make $31.8 million this year, right? In his last year of this contract that he's in, right? And now he's gonna be making $52 million. He went from 31 to 52 mil. I'm like, whoa, that's a lot. That's a lot of bread for a dude that, you know, like hasn't won a chip. You know what I mean? I mean, they do. They did go to 3 Eastern Conference Finals and went to 1 Finals and lost to what? How many games they lost to the Warriors?
Golden State. Who knows? Who cares?
I forgot. Right?
They lost.
Yeah, they were.
I think they won 2 games. I think it was in 6.
But I'm like, dude, this dude, he got the bag. I'm like, when I saw that, I'm like, hold up, wait a minute. And he's not even the best player of the team. Everybody calls Jason Tatum the best player on that Celtics
Jason
team.
Tatum is the best player. Yeah.
Exactly. So imagine Jason Tatum. It's like I was telling Q right before we got on. All right, you give this guy this much. How much you gonna give Tatum? Tatum gonna get like 5. He gonna get close to 5. Then what? What are you gonna do with the rest of the team? Your team gonna be depleted because you ain't gonna have the payroll to pay nobody fucking else. You know, the team that needs a big 3. So I'm like, I don't know. I mean, you know, I could go on with his accolades. You know, he's a shot creator. You know, he made 54% unassisted. You know, buckets. He averaged 26, 6 and 3, 49% from field goal, 33 from 3, et cetera. But I'm like, damn, you know, like that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. I'm not hating that he got that money, but that's a lot of money.
What do you think, Q?
It's a lot of money, and I would have been, you know, like, I don't know. I'm not a hater. I don't think it's a good decision off of the Celtics, but I think if we could have got Jaylen Brown for probably like in the arena of like 200 mil, that would have been. I think that would have been good for us. But like,
yeah, but
let's keep it a buck. No, yeah. So, but the Celtics are now gonna have the highest paid roster.
Shit.
Because think about it. So now Porzingis is getting paid 30 mil. Right? Now Jaylen Brown is going to be getting paid. I think that when they broke it down, I think his first year is like 59 mil or almost 60 mil. Next year, Jason Tatum is going to come over.
Supermax.
Right? Jason Tatum is going to get another crazy supermax. And it's going to be better than
what is Jason Tatum going to get? This nigga got...
He going to get like 500 mil, I'm telling you.
And we can think about it, but I don't know. Like, because like when I saw that contract signing, I had to do I had to think about it. I was like, yo, what did and Klay Thompson back in 2019 got paid $190 million for 5 years back in 2019. For the Splash Brothers. Jason Tatum and him, man, I just don't see that team in the East really winning. I don't think they have a big man. Number one, they're gonna have a crazy contract. They're gonna be paying crazy buku bucks. How are they gonna really create a roster paying all these guys all this money? And number two, it's just like let's see what Porzingis is really gonna do. Because now that's gonna be their biggest dude. Now, if the Celtics are really gonna go into, the Celtics gonna go to the playoffs and they go into the finals. Like, let's think about it. Now, if Jokic they got to face Jokic in the finals, or before that, if Embiid's on the Sixers, come on, you're going to tear apart their whole small man.
Hell yeah.
And if James Harden and Tyrese Maxey are there, they step it up. It just seems like a lot of money. And like when I saw that contract, I prefer, I want all my homies to get a bag, especially my minorities. I'm not racist, but I want all my people, talented people, to get a bag, get all that money. But to pay this team the amount of money that they're about to be paying, and then still have them be competitive in 5 years, man, it's gonna be very, very hard for them.
I think they're structurally flawed too, as we've seen. Like Tatum and everyone's saying this. This is you're not gonna be a genius to see this. Yeah. Tatum and Brown have similar games, man. Both dominant guards. It's interesting they got rid of Marcus Smart, the heart of the team.
With the heart,
is a very skilled player, but not a dog, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? When they brought in Porzingis.
Oh yeah, Porzingis.
So I'm trying to figure out what they're doing over there. I'm happy for Jaylen Brown. Get your money. I'm not sure. Listen, the NBA every year is getting harder and harder, especially the East, man. So I'm not sure. Will they be in the thick of things next year? Yes. We'll see what happens when Tatum gets the big bag, and then they got, like you said, you got to start filling in some of the ancillary pieces.
Yeah,
it's yet to be seen. But Ed, real quick, what's your take?
To be honest, like, all right, I'm all for people getting their bag, but I'm a big team guy too. So it's like I was saying earlier, it's like you guys touched up too. This guy got $304 million. Tatum gonna get like at least 4, like the same amount, probably 4 or 5. Maybe I'm over exaggerating. It's like, who are you gonna put around these guys? Who are you gonna put around these guys after you give these two guys? Hence, Brown and Tatum are the Celtics. They combined for 56 points per game last season. That's the fourth most by a duo since the 76-77 merger with the ABA. You know what I mean? But who are you gonna put around? What are your supporting cast you're gonna put around these two guys to make it to the championship again? You give up Marcus Smart, the heart and soul of the team, the defensive player of the year, like a season ago. You know what I mean? Like, what are you guys doing?
Agree.
Now, I don't mean to talk shit about my Knicks, but these are the moves the Knicks do. You know what I mean? These are the moves the Knicks do. So, to be honest, the Celtics, I thought they were going to be a scary team in our division, but I feel like they're going to be pretty easy to beat if they only got 2 motherfuckers on their team. Part of my language.
I agree 100%, man.
What are you guys doing? I know you guys want to keep these players, but you guys are throwing all this money at them. What about the rest of the goddamn team?
Look, listen, like what they saw was that it was 2 guys who both led the league in scoring in top 10, right? Because Jason Tatum was number 6,
yes,
and Jaylen Brown was number 9. When you got 2 players leading top 10 scoring in the NBA, I would expect you to go far.
Yeah.
But you could only go so far when you don't have a big man. This is why the big man needs to be back into play. Yo, let's be 100% honest, man. Let's all be realistic. A lot of these NBA players can average 20 to 23 points a game, right? If we have 2 or 3 of them, but they're not all-stars, whatever. I just need you to score your points. 2 or 3 players, scoring 20 to 23 points. Have a dominant big man. I have a dominant superstar who's maybe averaging, a little bit more, maybe 25, 26. Look, that's the whole That's the whole Warriors run. You know, that's what the Warriors did. That's what the Miami Heat did.
Yes.
You know, it's all like that's what all the super teams ever did. This is a super team. This is a big two.
Yes. Yes.
I can't call it a big three for Porzingis.
No,
I don't know if you need a big three anymore though, especially with the way the NBA they're restructuring everything.
Look at Phoenix. Phoenix got a big three now. They still got a big three.
Yeah, I think they're one of the last though, and we're gonna see if they
really
have a big
before
three.
The new CBA deal.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. I really don't think you need a big three. You didn't need it in the past, but there was a time where you actually did need it. But we saw how many superstars, Hall of Fame, GOAT players play on teams. Like we talked about this before, like with Michael Jordan. We talked about it on LeBron James playing on a Cavalier team, you know, before he left, that he didn't have no real surrounding cast. But, you know, like you it's just how you coach, how you play them, and the type of players you play. Like a lot of people need to understand this NBA game, and it's a game of playing basketball. It's a game of teamwork. You know, like I wish more players in the NBA did what more players did in fucking NFL, because these dudes ain't getting hit. Dudes ain't getting hurt. Like, why is Saquon not getting fucking $60 million a year? Jaylen, like, why? Because Jaylen Brown is running every other day. But let me
Justin
see.
Herbert. We don't got time for Justin Herbert, but Justin Herbert, he's got a super bag.
Oh yeah. So and that's crazy how Justin Herbert get this crazy ass bag, and you got these guys that are like Saquon and Josh Jacobs, like they be putting their lives on the line. And these quarterbacks and these tight ends and these wide receivers get all the money, bro. Look at the offensive who is it? The defensive tackle from the Jets. He just got a 96 million.
Quinn Williams, he
got 96 million. Like, you got Saquon getting 11.
Yeah, what's probably gonna end up happening is, you know, maybe I can foresee that the rosters of football getting smaller in the game. I can see that in the future. I can see football changing. There's already a lot of people complaining about, you know, injuries. They
need more money. That's what they need. That's the whole. They're structurally flawed. But I understand why you can't get guaranteed money. You know, because like you said, the rosters are so large.
It's
everyone
52
can't get
players.
Like I said before, in another show we did, NFL, all you brag about is how much money you make. You print money. You're $1 billion corporation. Stop paying these dudes, man. But listen, man, great show.
Yes,
I love it. You know,
besides the technical difficulties, that's on my bad.
It's all good. It happened.
Man, don't worry about it.
We brought the heat as always. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
We running over. We do have a time limit. We running over the time slightly, but yo, check this out. My man E feeling good. ET, talk to me. ET.
Yo, after I cursed out a song when I got cut off, yo, I need to feel good right now.
You're fucking with the squad. That's Kumar Azdubar.
Yes,
shout out to Tragedy. You owe me some paper, nigga. Tragedy, you owe me some paper.
Yeah, you stupid.
It's facts though. Nah, E, take us out of here, man.
Yo,
it's facts.
I'm gonna take a swig, and my man's is gonna take a shot. This is for everybody, like I always say every week, like we always say every week, everybody who's showed us love, everybody who even hating, because if there's no hate, there's no success, right? That's how I feel. You know what I mean? But this is a toast to y'all that always show us love. Whoever show us hate, we love y'all regardless.
Facts.
You know what I mean? And we are a three-headed monster. We're gonna manifest Drunk Sports Talk to be the best sports program on Earth, and Mars, and Pluto, wherever the fuck. You know what I mean? They're gonna watch us. They're gonna love us. You guys are gonna learn to love us. So salute to y'all, because y'all hustle, but we hustle harder. Let's go, baby.
Let's go. That's my. Couldn't say it better.
As Cock can't see his eyes. Who can it be? That new Black Yankee on.
RIP to my fridge, man. Yo, this is a good show, man. Listeners, tune in.
Yo, I miss you saying, yo, I'm gonna go to the fridge and get a beer. I miss that.
Yeah, I can't go to the fridge. I gotta go to my foot.
Still working on the callers. We'll be there very soon. But listen, till next time, we had a very special episode on Sunday, all boxing. We're gonna review the Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford with the undercard. Maybe we'll talk a little bit of Cool Boy Steph who just fought. We'll talk a little something. We're gonna talk some MMA. See you Sunday. You already know what it is. One love.
Peace.
Peace.